Hello everyone, that Manga Kid here to do my June and July manga haul. Not too many titles, but honestly very excited about everything I picked up. The first of which was Gantz Omnibus number 6. These are the 3-in-1s that Dark Horse is putting out. Cheapest way to read the series, honestly. Funny story about this, I pre-ordered this in March of 2020. Obviously, the release date got pushed back significantly, and so when it finally did release, I believe it was I don't know if it actually came out in May or if it came out in early June, but either way, my copy got lost in the mail. So I waited over a year for it, and then it shipped, and then it didn't get delivered to me. This is the first time this has happened. I've ordered like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of books from Chapters. I live in Canada. That's where I order most of my manga from. And this has never happened to me. It's never gotten delivered to the wrong address before. So obviously contacted customer service and was like, this delivered to someone else's house. This isn't my house that this book went to. And I know for 100% certain it did not get delivered to my house. The courier made a mistake. And so they were like, well, unfortunately, it's out of stock. So you're going to have to wait for it to come back into stock, or we can refund it. I'm like, do not refund it. I've been waiting over a year for this. Like, I will wait until it's back in stock. So sure enough, it comes back in stock a few weeks later. They ship it out to me. It arrives. And then a few weeks after that, I get a package on my doorstep with a note on it. And sure enough, it got delivered to a house near me. And the person had opened the package because they thought it was their Indigo or Chapters order. Thankfully, these are like saran wrapped because I know it was a senior. It was an older woman who lives kind of a street or so away from me. And thankfully, these are like saran wrapped because if she had opened this up to be like, curiously like, oh, what is this? She would have been in for a big surprise. So thankfully this cover is not super explicit or anything, because I was like, oh, this poor woman. Thankfully she couldn't open the actual book, but she just, gave it back to me and said, sorry it took so long to get it back. But yeah, so that was a ride, but thankfully I got my copy and I really enjoyed it. These editions, I've said it before, if you are careful with your books, like I've already read this and you can tell the spine is like hardly, it's not cracked, it's hardly, just barely dented inward a little bit, but you can barely notice it. If you take care of your books, this is a very cost-effective way to read this series. So yeah. Next up, I got Volume 3 of I Hear the Sunspot Limit. This is a One Piece Books release. This is the final volume of the Limit series. So in total, there are 5 of these out because there's I Hear the Sunspot, I Hear the Sunspot Theory of Happiness, and then I Hear the Sunspot Limit, which is 3 volumes. And then I believe, this is a very thick volume as well, by the way, I believe there are more stories coming about these characters. It would just be another, continuation, or another like sequel series, I guess. I have not read this particular volume yet. This one just came in a couple days ago, and I just haven't been in the mood for light, fluffy kind of drama sort of manga, so I just haven't read it yet, but I'm sure it will be fantastic. This one is about, it's a very, very slow burn boys love series about college students, one of whom is hard of hearing. So high praise for this one from many people. I do recommend it, even though I obviously haven't read this final volume of the Limit series. But next up, I had finally got Inside Mari Volume 7. This is another one. I had pre-ordered this entire series, actually, and then COVID messed it all up, and Chapters canceled all my pre-orders, and then I just had to keep waiting and waiting and waiting. And I finally just bought it. When I noticed it had finally released, I bought this volume. So we got 2 more, 8 and 9, left of Inside Mari. Not Shuzo Oshimi's best work, but I do thoroughly enjoy it. I can't really talk about this volume at this point, getting into spoiler territory, but basically it's kind of like a body swapping situation, and there's a bit of a mystery element to it, and it's yeah, kind of identity crisis sort of situation. Obviously, young people, teenagers. Shuzo Oshimi tends to focus on that age group. Art is fantastic. I won't show you any from this because spoilers, but happy to have that volume finally. I got another Shuzo Oshimi title, one again that I pre-ordered last year and then it got canceled. Shino Can't Say Her Name. This is a single volume, again a Denpa release, same as Inside Mari. Beautiful textured cover, French flaps. This one is not at all, there's no sexual themes in this one, so honestly I think that if you are looking for a Shuzo Oshimi title to kind of ease you into stuff, I think this one might be a good one. His art is not as good in this one as it is in like Happiness, Blood on the Tracks, whatnot, because this was written back in, I believe, 2012, around the same time as The Flowers of Evil. So obviously the art is a bit of his older style, however, still pretty good, and just a one-shot about this girl with a speech impediment and her trying to just find people that she can connect to and relate with. Yeah, it was really good. I do have a review of this one coming out by the time this video is out. I think it will already be up on my channel for you to watch. So yeah. Next up, a few volumes I got for free from a friend of mine. She was just getting rid of some books and was like, hey, I got these, do you want them? I said, sure. So this is volume 1, or omnibus 1, of I Am Here by Emma Toyama. This is an old Del Rey release. Now, I actually read this back when I was like 13 or something. My library at the time in the town I lived in was amazing. They had so much manga, and this is a 2 omnibus series. I believe it's probably 4 in total, based on the size of this. I'm assuming this is a 2-in-1. And I really loved it. This is about a girl, she's in middle school. She has like, I think she has just social anxiety and whatnot. She's very quiet. Nobody notices her. And it's just about her trying to find her voice and find her place in the world, really, but more specifically letting her classmates and the people around her know that like she's here, she exists, and you need to stop kind of overlooking her existence. Obviously there's a couple boys there. It's a bit of a love triangle, but I haven't read this literally in like a decade. But I remember this is one that has really stuck with me. I've always remembered this title, and I almost bought this first omnibus volume like when it first came out. I remember having it in my hand, and that day I was going to buy about $100 worth of manga because I had saved my money up, and I brought it all to Chapters. And then my dad saw the stack I was going to buy and told me to put like 5 things back. He's like, you're not spending that much money on books. Like, it's not happening. And so he told me to pick like 3 or 4 titles. And so yeah, I put this one back. I mean, here it is in my possession now. So I guess it worked out in the end, though I don't have the second one. But I wouldn't have bought the second one that day anyway. It wasn't out yet. So yeah. So I have read the series from my library, but like I said, it's been about a decade. I'm excited to read it again. I'm sure that, it's probably not going to hit as hard as it did back then because I'm not that age group anymore. But the art is so beautiful, and I just remember feeling very touched by this character and feeling really connected to what was happening in this story at the time in my life that I read it. So yeah, hopefully one day I'll find the second omnibus, but it's Del Rey, and a lot of those titles are, especially this one, it wasn't that popular. So, and then the other series that my friend gave me was Captive Hearts. And this is Matsuri Hino, who did Vampire Knight. So it's a 5-volume series. I've never actually read this one. I've heard of it, but I've never read it, and I haven't read it yet. I just got these, maybe a week or so ago, and I haven't been reading much manga lately anyway, so I am excited to read them. These are in like pristine condition, and I got the full 5-volume series. I do enjoy Vampire Knight. I've watched both seasons of the anime. I actually own them, and I've read the first 5 volumes in the manga because that's all I own. But I like Vampire Knight for what it is, and I'm excited to read this one. I believe this is kind of like a master-servant relationship sort of thing. I think that there's like some kind of spell. There's a supernatural element to this, which I don't typically love, but honestly, you know, it is what it is. I got these for free. They're in great condition, and I do like Matsuri Hino's art. And I enjoyed Vampire Knight for what it is, even though that has a supernatural element as well. This one looks more like a comedy to me, though there may be some drama as well. But yeah, I am excited to read this, happy to own it, and it's always nice to get a full, complete series, especially one that's, like, this isn't recent, as far as I know. Yeah, so excited for that. And next up is just all of my alternative manga kind of titles. So I finally got my hands on World Map Room by Yuichi Yokoyama. I've wanted this for years now. I purchased Garden and Iceland years ago, and World Map Room was out of stock at the time. It was out of print, and I couldn't get my hands on it. This is a picture box release, and I don't know if it just came back in stock or in print or what happened, but all of a sudden it was available on Amazon to purchase again, and so I bought it immediately. Yuichi Yokoyama is incredible. Super, like, geometric artwork, not a lot of dialogue, like very, very little dialogue, and it's a ride to read his works. And I also picked up Outdoors, which is a more recent release. World Map Room is older, at least the English release is older. But yeah, this is another title that I've wanted for a while, though I don't think that that's, like, I had to order it from Amazon and import it from the UK. It wasn't available anywhere that I could find from, like, Canadian sellers, so it was a bit more expensive, but honestly, this one has zero dialogue. There is no dialogue in Outdoors at all. Super, super fantastic, and this one had a bit of an interview at the end of it between Ryan Holmberg and Yuichi Yokoyama. And then the other thing about this is that you can see that the dust jacket doesn't cover the whole thing. It just covers that bit there, and then so you can see the title. I just thought it was interesting the way it was printed with this dust jacket. But yeah, and this one is also, this is Breakdown Press. Yeah, so this one's Breakdown Press and this one's Picture Box, but both amazing. I'm thinking I'll probably do a separate video on Outdoors. I did a video years ago on Iceland and Garden together, and I was thinking of doing just a Yuichi Yokoyama video, but I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do, if I just want to do a separate video or a collective kind of stuff of his titles. I don't know yet. Things are sliding down. Okay. Next up, another Breakdown Press release, The Pits of Hell by Ebisu Yoshikazu. This was fantastic. This cover is stunning. The spine, the back cover, everything about this was amazing. I will be releasing a video specifically on this title. This is a short story collection, all obviously gekiga or alternative manga. This is another one I had to import from the UK because, again, couldn't find it from a Canadian seller anywhere, so I don't know if it just isn't available in Canada or what, but yeah, amazing title. Super stoked to have it. It's one that I've had my eye on forever because I would see this cover on Amazon and be like, I need to own that, but it was always so expensive to import it, and I just, this was part of the all of the titles that I've just showed you and the ones I'm about to show you, all the alternative stuff that I got. I just bit the bullet and ordered them on Amazon all at once, and they're ones I've wanted for a long time and just didn't want to pay that much money for them, but now I'm like, you know what? It is what it is. I want them really bad, and I know I'm going to enjoy them. So next one up, again, Breakdown Press. This is Hayashi Seiichi's Red Red Rock and Other Stories. I have another Hayashi Seiichi title. I believe it was Red Colored Elegy is his. Again, like a pop art sort of style. Oh, I forgot to show you some artwork from The Pits of Hell. Super, just, I just love it. And same with Red Red Rock. I just gotta be careful with what I show because there's often a lot of nudity and things like that. Red Red Rock, This one has a bit of a browner tone to it's not in black and white. But yeah, I just got to be a bit more cognizant of what I am showing. There's a lot of nudity in that one. Here's another one. But yeah, I really enjoyed Red Red Rock. I do have a video already up on my channel about this one, my alternative manga spotlight video. So go check that out if you want more information about this one. But this is a huge, heavy book. Really nice quality. And the final book for this haul is Comics Underground Japan, another alternative manga. This one's edited by Kevin Quigley. This is, I believe, 12 different mangaka short alternative stories. Few names on here I had recognized prior to reading this because I own some of their other titles and was super excited for it. This is disgusting. There's a lot of horrible things in here, which is, you know, the specialty of Gekika is just disturbing imagery, and yeah, it's a lot, but I really loved it. Again, you'll be seeing a review of this one up, I believe, before this haul video goes up. So I'm just trying to show some different art from the different artists, but making sure that I'm not showing anything horribly graphic, because there is a lot of horribly graphic imagery in this. So there's a different mangaka as well. So yeah, this one does actually read in the Japanese reading direction, but for some reason they decided to print the cover in the English reading direction. Yeah, but anyway, and then it's got a nice spotlight on each of the creators so that you can read the short story that they wrote and then go to the back and read a bit more about the mangaka themselves. So anyway, that was everything I got in June and July of 2021. I'm super happy with all the alternative manga I got. Obviously the free manga I got is always nice to have somebody who thinks of you when they're getting rid of their manga. And the Shuzo Oshimi titles, super excited about. Gantz, finally. And yeah, I hear the Sunspot, all around pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I haven't been reading a ton of manga lately. I'm not feeling as motivated as I usually am. And I'm just busy with school and work and everything. So yeah, and there's been no sales. I mean, the lack of manga haul substance, I guess, is because Chapters hasn't had a manga sale since March. They did a Viz sale in March, but since then there's been nothing. Usually there's like a manga sale every other month or so, and COVID, I guess, has had an impact on that, or maybe they've just decided that manga is not something they want to put on sale often. I don't know what the case is with that, or maybe it's the publishers not wanting to put the stuff on sale. I have no idea, but it just, I'm not paying full price for things, and even with my 10% discount, it's just not enough to support the amount that I want to be buying. And so I will wait patiently until there is a sale. And until then, I guess that means that I'm not really picking up any new titles, because a lot of this stuff was stuff that I bought off Amazon because it was only available on Amazon, or in the case of like Inside Mari and I Hear the Sunspot and stuff, those ones were individually just kind of on sale, and then I had my discount. So yeah, anyway, thank you for watching. If you saw anything here that really interested you and want to chat about it, I'd love to hear your thoughts. As always, if you have any alternative manga recommendations, I would love to hear them. Always looking for new and cool titles to add to my collection. So yeah, thanks for watching.